13 minutes ago, the entire entertainment industry was thrown into chaos when Tan Songyun finally broke her silence on the Xukai controversy, a silence that had lasted for months while rumors, gossip, and speculation consumed every corner of the internet. For weeks, fans had been demanding answers, tabloids had been feeding on scandal, and Xukai himself had chosen to stay quiet while storms raged around him. But no one expected that it would be Tan Songyun who would step forward with words that were both shocking and heartbreaking. Her post was simple, stark, and devastating in its impact. "You don't know the whole truth." Those 7 words shook the foundations of every story, every headline, and every assumption made about Xukai in recent months. The Xukai controversy growing louder each day. Accusations of professional conflicts, rumors of walking away from scripts and clashing with directors, whispers of brand deals collapsing, and the never-ending scrutiny of his personal life had painted him as a figure under siege. Netizens dissected every move, speculated on his relationships, and built narratives out of fragments of gossip. What hurt fans most was the silence of the one person they believed was closest to him, Tan Songyun. She who had shared unforgettable on-screen chemistry with Xukai in multiple dramas, who had been seen laughing by his side at press conferences, who seemed to share an unspoken bond that fans lovingly dubbed as the golden pair of Cient, had remained utterly quiet while the man she was tied to in the public imagination was being torn apart by speculation. That silence ended today. At 11:47 a.m. Beijing time, Tan Songyun posted a short but piercing statement on her verified Weibo account. No glossy photos, no carefully crafted press release, just stark black text on a white background that cut through the noise with honesty. "You don't know the whole stories, twist situations, and paint him as something he is not. Xukai, the person I know is not the person you're describing. It's time I speak." In that moment, hashtags exploded across Weibo and other social platforms. Hashtag Tansongyun speaks. Hashtag Xukai controversy. Hashtag you don't know the whole truth trending within seconds. Within 13 minutes, her post had shared over 1 million times. Fans across the world were scrambling to understand the full weight of what she had just revealed. To grasp why her words have carried such an impact, one must look back at the depth of their connection. From the first drama where they worked together, Xukai and Tan Songyun captivated viewers with chemistry so natural it blurred the line between fiction and reality. Interviews showed them laughing freely, glances exchanged in ways fans swore were more than friendly, possible to fake. Inevitably, rumors of a relationship followed them everywhere. Some dismissed it as a promotional strategy. Others believed wholeheartedly in their love story, but regardless of the truth, the bond between them was undeniable. Which is why, when Xukai became surrounded by controversy, the world looked to Tan Songyun for a reaction. Yet she gave none until now. In her statement, she revealed why she had stayed silent for so long. "I was silent because I didn't want to add fuel to a fire. I thought the truth would eventually reveal itself. But the more I stayed quiet, the more lies grew. Xukai doesn't need saving, but he deserves honesty." These words reframed everything. No longer was her silence a sign of distance or disapproval. It was the painful restraint. Truth would surface without her intervention. Into damaging portraits of the man she knew, she realized silence was no longer protection but complicity in letting lies dominate. The internet response was immediate and divided. Some fans wept in gratitude, thanking her for standing by Xukai when everyone else seemed to be questioning him, flooding her post with messages of love and admiration. Others questioned her timing, asking why Xukai himself had not spoken if there was truly another side to the story. Skeptics suggested her words might be carefully timed damage control ahead of a rumored new project between them. But what no one could deny was that her voice carried weight. And for the first time in months, the narrative surrounding Xukai shifted from condemnation to curiosity. What is the truth we don't know? The allegations against Xukai had been messy, half-formed, and sensationalized. Whispers of walking off sets, rumors of tension with directors, gossip about strained contracts with luxury brands, and endless speculation about his love life. None of these claims had ever been confirmed, yet they gained momentum simply because silence left space for imagination. In the absence of answers, gossip became gospel. Tan Songyun's statement erased these accusations, but it cast doubt on their validity, hinting that there were hidden layers unseen by the public eye. Perhaps most striking was the emotional core of her message. Sometimes the people closest to you suffer the most in silence. I couldn't let him carry that alone anymore. These words pierced through the cynicism of the internet. Stunt, but the voice of someone who cared deeply, or simply kindred spirits shaped by the same industry pressures, placed herself in the heart of Xukai's controversy, knowing well that by speaking out she would share in both his criticism. Now wonder about Xukai's response. Sources close to him have quietly suggested that he is both moved by her public defense, even though he reportedly urged her not to get involved. He said, he didn't ask her to do this. In fact, he told her not to get involved. But that is, she protects people. That sentiment alone paints their colors deeper than rumor ever could. Beyond the personal drama, this moment has ignited a larger conversation about the fragility of truth in the world of celebrity. In an era where every photograph, every social media post, every glance is dissected into meanings, what the full story? Tan Songyun's bold declaration, "You don't," isn't just about Xukai, it's about every star who suffers beneath the weight of narratives they did not create. It's about celebrities are human beings with complexities, struggles, and unspoken battles, not simply characters in an endless. The full effect of her statement is only beginning to unfold. Will Xukai finally share his side of the story now that she has opened the door? Will brands and directors who distance themselves quietly reconsider as public sentiment shifts? Will fans, many of whom had begun to doubt him? Answers to these questions remain uncertain. Nothing about this controversy same way again. 13 minutes ago might seem like a short span of time, but in the lightning-fast world of entertainment news, it was long enough to turn the tide. Tan Songyun's decision to break her silence has redefined not just Xukai's story, but her own as well. She is no longer the quiet bystander in someone else's voice that dared to challenge the mob, the heart that refused to let someone she cares about suffer alone. As fans continue to dissect, debate, and discuss, one truth remains undeniable. Tan Songyun has reminded the world that courage sometimes comes not in grand gestures, but in simple words spoken at the right time. And those words, raw and unpolished, may just mark the beginning of a new chapter for Xukai, for Tan Songyun, and for how the public chooses to listen to the voices of the stars they claim to love. The aftermath of Tan Songyun's bold statement is nothing short of. Only a short while ago, she broke the silence that had gripped both fans and media for months, declaring that the world doesn't know the whole truth about Xukai. The ripple effects are spreading faster than wildfire, and every corner of the internet is buzzing with theories, emotions, and speculation about what comes next. Since her post went live, Xukai's name has dominated trending lists across social platforms. Fan accounts are sharing compilation videos of their best moments together, interview clips are being rewatched with fresh eyes, and industry insiders are scrambling to understand the deeper meaning behind her words. What was once a one-sided storm of allegations has turned into a balanced debate, where supporters are louder than ever before, and doubters are left questioning if they misjudged the actor all along. But perhaps the most fascinating part is how Tan Songyun herself has been repositioned in this narrative. For weeks, many thought her silence meant distance, that maybe she was trying to protect her own career while Xukai faced the storm. Now, her decision to finally speak has revealed her in a new light, loyal, courageous, and unafraid to put her voice behind the man so many had tried to pull down. She didn't just defend him, she reminded fans that behind every rumor, there is a person, and behind every person, there is a story waiting to be told. Fans across Asia are now calling for Xukai to step forward and reveal his side of the story. Will he confirm what Tan Songyun has hinted at? Will he share details that could finally put the controversy to rest? Or will he remain letting her voice be the shield between him and the noise of the outside world? That uncertainty is what has made this moment feel like a cliffhanger in a real-life drama episode. Theories swirling. Some say Tan Songyun timed her post because the two have a new project ready to air, and she wanted to clear the air before promotions begin. Others believe her action was purely personal, driven by months of watching him suffer in silence. Whatever the case, her words have created the perfect storm of curiosity, passion, and anticipation. Everyone wants answers, and everyone is watching. What's next for Xukai? What's next for Tan Songyun? And most importantly, what's next for their undeniable bond? Will this moment bring them even closer in the eyes of the public, solidifying them as a power duo both on-screen and off? Or will the controversy only deepen, forcing them to fight harder than ever before to prove their truth? These are the questions hanging in the air tonight, and fans are refusing to look away. The story is far from over. In fact, it feels like it's only just beginning. And this is where you come in. If you've been following this journey, if you've felt the emotional highs and lows of Xukai and Tan Songyun's story, then you already know that moments like this are why we fall in love with C-dramas, K-dramas, and the world of entertainment in the first place. The suspense, the heartbreak, the loyalty, the unexpected twists, this is the stuff of dramas, except it's happening in real life before our very eyes. That's exactly why we created K-Drama Spark, to bring you the latest breaking stories, the most emotional love stories, the scandals, the secrets, and the sparks that make Asian dramas and their stars so addictive. If you're reading this right now, you don't want to miss what comes next. Because trust me, this Xukai and Tan Songyun story is going to unravel in ways none of us can predict, and we'll be here every step of the way to break it down for you. So here's our call to action. Hit that subscribe button on K-Drama Spark, join our growing community of drama lovers, and never miss an update on your favorite stars. Every time breaking news like this drops, we'll be the first to bring you the full story, the context, the emotions, and the twists. By subscribing, you won't just be watching the news. You'll be part of the journey, part of the conversation, and part of the family that loves these stars as much as you do. Imagine being the first to know when Xukai finally speaks. Imagine being part of the wave that uncovers the whole truth Tan Songyun promised we don't yet know. Imagine experiencing every revelation, every shocking twist, and every emotional moment with a community that feels just as passionate as you are. That's what K-Drama Spark is all about. This story is already history in the making. 13 minutes ago, Tan Songyun shifted the narrative, but tomorrow, Xukai might turn the whole world upside down again. Will he finally reveal the secrets behind the controversy? Will he confirm or deny the romance fans have always believed in? Or will a completely new chapter unfold, one that none of us saw coming? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. You don't want to be on the sidelines when it does. You want to be right in the center of the fire, catching every spark, and that's why you need to stay with us. So don't wait. Subscribe to K-Drama Spark now, turn on notifications, and join the conversation in the comments. Tell us, what do you think Tan Songyun meant by "you don't know the whole truth"? Was it about his career, his personal life, or their bond? We want to hear your thoughts, and together we'll uncover the layers of this story piece by piece. The truth is out there, and it's only just beginning to surface. Stay tuned, stay curious, and stay with K-Drama Spark, where every spark becomes a flame, and every flame lights up a story worth remembering.